Hey everyone, Riley here with DarkAero. We're back in the shop working on the DarkAero 1 prototype. Just to recap where we've been, we've already test run the engine, we've taxi tested the aircraft, and now we've disassembled the aircraft and we're going to paint it. You can see we've already painted the wing. Up next we're going to paint the fuselage. Normally painting a composite kit plane kind of sucks, but we've gone through some effort on our design to make painting a little bit better. We're going to talk through that in this video. Let's get into it. We have the whole airframe disassembled for paint. We already painted the wing. Today we're going to paint the fuselage. One of the questions we get asked pretty frequently is why are you even bothering to paint the DarkAero 1? It looks pretty cool. I really like the carbon fiber look. Can't you just leave it naked? We can't leave it naked. The main reason is that the epoxy resin matrix that allows the carbon fiber to hold its shape is a little bit UV sensitive. So applying a layer of paint on top of that protects it from UV. The other environmental factor we're concerned with is just moisture and abrasion. A layer of paint protects the airframe from those factors more than just leaving it naked. There's also a performance benefit with painting the airframe. There's a little bit of variation in the contour and the surface finish of the airframe. So to get it to be perfectly smooth, we can apply a primer surfacer and sand that to smooth out any defects and make the airframe really aerodynamically clean. I mentioned earlier that the process of preparing a composite kit plane for paint isn't really the most enjoyable process. The traditional approach is you apply a body filler over the entire airframe and then sand that to contour and then paint on top of that. That can take hundreds or even thousands of hours. On my Cozy, I probably invested about 1,000 man-hours between filling, sanding, and painting that airframe, and it wasn't really fun. We wanted to improve upon this with the DarkAero 1. We wanted to be able to go directly to paint with our airframe structures. And I think we're most of the way there. The way we're doing that is we've gone through a lot of effort to make precision molded components. We've molded all our airframe structures from molds that were made through a CNC process, and then we've used an infusion process to mold the components, which basically eliminates any pinholes or voids that you might see in the structure. That allows us to go directly to paint. We did that on the wing. That was kind of the first big structure that we painted. We'll take a look at that. We didn't apply any filler on here. We basically went directly to paint. This is 3 coats of primer, and then we sanded that a little bit to check the contour. The defects that I'm talking about correcting are on the order of about 5/1000ths of an inch thick. A piece of paper is about 4/1000ths of an inch thick. So we're talking about smoothing out something about 1 or 2 sheets of paper thick. And I think we've mostly achieved that. We will do maybe 1 more layer of primer on this before we do top coat, but we're pretty pleased with how smooth this is. You can't feel it on the camera, but if I run my hand over this, I can't feel any defects or waves or anything like that. The plan is to replicate this on the fuselage. We're going to go directly to paint. There are a couple areas where we've applied filler, and that's along seams. We've got really nice geometry and surface finish on all the individual panels, but then where those panels come together along seams, like between the canopy fairing here and the fuselage side, we've applied a little bit of filler along the seam to smooth that out. Anywhere it's a very small gap we're trying to fill, we're just using basically Bondo brand glazing compound. And then in some of the bigger areas where we're filling, like between the vertical stabilizer and the horizontal stabilizer, we're actually making a little bit of a fillet there with our body filler. For that we're using Sherwin-Williams Fill-Bond, which is an aerospace grade body filler. It's epoxy based, so it adheres really nicely, and it has some flexibility to it, so it won't crack as the airframe flexes in flight. Other than those areas though, we're basically going to go directly to paint. We'll talk about the setup for paint here. We have the airframe fixture on these carts. It's elevated, so we've got access underneath. We want to have full 360-degree access on the airframe, so I can paint the top, the sides, and the bottom in one operation. We're using just 80/20 T-slot extruded aluminum to get it lifted up here. We've masked off the areas that we don't want to paint. We're going to be using 2 coats of polyurethane primer surfacer from PPG. It's the same thing that we used on the wing. Going to repeat that process. The 2 coats, we arrived at that number based on experience with the wing. Ultimately, we're going to need maybe 3 to 4 coats total, but we'll do the first 2 coats, sand that to kind of check the contour and correct any defects we find, and then do another 1 to 2 coats on top of that before we do top coat. We're going to roll this whole operation into an inflatable paint booth that we're using to contain the overspray. As far as equipment goes, we're using an HVLP spray gun, basically just following the recommendations from PPG as far as how to apply the paint. And then one other important thing I should mention is safety. We want to protect our eyes, our skin, and our lungs from the paint vapors. So we're going to be wearing full face respirators and Tyvek suits and gloves just to keep the paint off ourselves. I think that's all for the setup and motivation behind this paint topic. We're ready to paint. Let's get started with that. We finished up the painting operations on the fuselage. It all went pretty well, but there are just a couple things I wanted to share as far as lessons learned or a debrief of the whole painting operation. It was pretty easy to paint the fuselage sides the way we had it set up in the paint booth. They were really accessible ergonomically. The top wasn't too bad. I did have to stand on a box to reach and get the spray gun to paint the top. The bottom was a little tricky just because I had to crouch down and the angle wasn't ideal for the spray gun. It would have been better to just wait and do a second painting operation, flip the airplane over and paint the bottom that way. So we were maybe biting off more than we can chew, trying to paint the whole fuselage in one go. We got it done, but maybe could split it up into separate operations. This area here where the vertical stabilizer and the horizontal stabilizer meet, it was a little tricky. It's difficult to get the gun in there, and no matter which direction I went or how I was holding the gun, there was always a portion of the structure that was not ideally positioned relative to the spray pattern. But same thing there, got it done. So that's all I wanted to say about the fuselage painting in this video. I think I'll leave it here for now. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. We kind of got a little ahead of ourselves on that project, but we did that intentionally because we want to understand if when we disassemble the airplane for paint, there's anything we need to